So I like to start out first with what is value stacking. But to figure out what value stacking is, I like to tell you what it's not. Okay. Because I see everyone does this all the time. It's like loading up these features like, oh, you're going to, one-on-one coaching calls with me every month. You're going to get, this and that. You're going to get templates. You're going to get PDFs. You're going to get adding more stuff to your offer just because you think it justifies your price actually is not what we consider value. So when we talk about value stacking, we're looking at adding things to our offer that is increasing the perceived value of the offer by helping the client reach their dream outcome. These are keywords, guys, so listen to me. You want to help your client reach their dream outcome, circle that, faster, easier, safer, more predictably. Okay. And underline a couple times faster and easier, because those are going to be key things for most of us in the type of industries that my audience, you guys are listening to, so that you're credit professionals. Okay. All right. So I want to talk to you about the four drivers of perceived value, because there are four key drivers to building perceived value in your offer. Okay. So the first one is dream outcome, what the client ultimately wants, not the service. For example, they want the home, they want the mortgage approval, they want a clean report, they want funding, they want financial stability, they want a fresh start. Those are the dream outcomes. It's not, I want credit repair, right? I want to talk to Alicia. Like nobody wants to talk to Alicia, right? It's about what they actually want. So we got to get very clear on their dream outcome, because that's what we're selling them. We're selling them a journey to make it faster and easier to get to the dream outcome. Okay. The next four drivers out of the four drivers, the next one is likelihood of achievement. So this is really, really important. Does the client believe you can actually help them succeed? So when we're doing our offer, we need to make sure that one of the drivers is that we're addressing their likelihood of achievement. So do they believe that you are going to be the one that helps them succeed? But you might also want to look at, do they believe they can do it? Because that oftentimes is the issue, not that they believe whether or not they might fully believe that you can get them to their goal, but they might have their own internal thought processes where they feel like, I don't know if I can do it, right? So just keep that in mind. Time delay is another one. How long they believe it will take before they see results. Remember, I told you to underline a few times faster and easier? They're looking for a faster process, right? So you got to deliver a timeline delay that makes it faster. So for me, my dream outcome for my clients was they wanted to buy a house, right? So my niche was I was a first-time home buyer expert. So what I needed to do is show them that the journey from where they're at to where they want to be buying their first home, I had created this smooth, easy, fast journey, because they wouldn't have to go over the hills and valleys and get the bumps and bruises that maybe I had to do to get from here to my first home, right? So I've kind of streamlined that process. So you want to make sure that that is very clear in your offer. Effort and sacrifice. I always say people don't like to do anything, right? And those of you who have been in the credit space probably know what I'm talking about. Clients, they don't want to do much. They want to put it all on you. So how can you help them understand the effort and the sacrifice, like making it easy for them? So making your journey easy, making it easy to understand, answering their questions before they have questions. Things like that will really help make your offer better. So these are the four drivers of perceived values. I'm going to say them again. So we have dream outcome. We got to know that. Likelihood of achievement. So we got to make sure we address that with our clients. Time delay. They want it to be fast. So if we have a process and it's a long drawn out process, how can we get quick wins through that process so that we can say in this time to this time, you're going to get this. And then from this time to this time, you're going to get this. Those quick wins are really, really important. And then effort and sacrifice. How can we simplify the process and address their concerns that this might be hard for them? Okay, does that make sense? The four drivers?